Let's eliminate that bullshit philosophy, that bullshit way of thinking, because you're the mom that you have more say so, you have more control, or you even have more care or consideration for the child. No, we love our fucking kids too. We want to take care of our kids, and we got their best interests at heart as well. And just because we don't always see shit the way you see it, don't necessarily mean that your way is better. That's What's going on is The Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, America's fastest growing podcast.
The universe's fastest growing podcast. We encourage y'all to get 1% better every single day and every single way. And I'm extremely excited today, as always, because for one, we back filming. I feel like we ain't filmed in a minute. We back on another home set, which we definitely been here to bid it.
All right.
Big shout out to our sponsors, as always. Big shout out to We Care Home Health Agency. If you wonder who cares, Q?
We care.
And you could go to them for any and all of your home care and healthcare needs, from skilled to non-skilled, from pediatric all the way up to senior care. And the best way to reach them is call this number. Don't text it. Call this number, 267-940-8509. And they are located in the Philadelphia area, but they serve all surrounding counties. So if you're in PA in general, you could be serviced by We Care. So with that being the case, man, I'm excited. We back again. How you feeling?
I ain't gonna lie, man.
He's already lying.
No, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed.
Oh, shit.
I'm annoyed.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm annoyed because, I don't know if y'all got friends, like I got friends that try to be baddies. They go on certain trips and they can't stop. I ain't gonna point no fingers, but it's like they start going on trips and they can't stop talking about the trip and, villain me, and I can't do resorts and jet lag for 2 weeks, and I had fucking cramps for the flights, the leg, the duration. Oh, my bad. I get it all mixed up. You so many trips you do, I can't eat American food no more.
I went to
these skylines don't do it for me.
I went to France to get fries.
Y'all niggas ever went past the Atlantic? The talk I keep.
These is all true shit.
Yeah.
You said
so. Can you please?
What time is it in Dubai?
He don't have his watch on regular American Eastern time no more.
Yeah. I actually been using my world clock. You use your world clock?
I have no reason to. I never went past the Atlantic.
I've been using my world clock. Yeah, 4 countries in 3 months.
Put on a record. Time experience.
Went from nowhere to 4 countries in 3 months. So,
boy, good.
Like you said, we didn't cross the Atlantic, the Indian, the Pacific.
Oh, you look at the map.
I'm on a plane so much when you on to show you
so this is where
I had to start taking pictures. I'm like, because I need to know where I'm going, where I'm at. All the places I'm passing on my way to where I'm going. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, just got back from Dubai. Amazing experience. You know what I mean? Was actually happy to be a part of what I went out there for. Originally was going to be for a mastermind, but it ended up turning out just for me being a part of being able to be a mentor and be a part of the Nehemiah Foundation. They hosted Moguls in Motion. They have a program where they take entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, kids, I want to say up to the age 18, and they just give them life-changing experiences. So
I knew it was you mentioned to me that was a whole mentor thing, which is dope. I didn't know they were all young entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to them. That's even dope.
Yeah, so they young entrepreneurs. They all got businesses, and just taking them, exposing them to new things, and just showing them that the world is bigger than their environment, and then also allowing them an opportunity to learn from people who are successful and who just have a knack for wanting to serve or give back or mentor in that sense.
Free of charge.
Oh, it was absolutely paid for. It wasn't free. They didn't pay.
Yeah, it's on for them.
Yeah. Super free for them.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, shout out to Neo in the foundation.
Part of it?
Well, I was a part of the mentor, but I say like the sponsor part. I sponsor my time.
Yeah.
But the paid part,
energy.
Yeah. No, time is important. My time, my wisdom, my presence, all of those things were definitely sponsored. But the actual trip, the reason I want to highlight the foundation because they're always also looking for sponsors to sponsor a kid. So if you out there and you want to be a part of something that's amazing, whether, and if you're a kid or you have a kid, apply. Like, it's an opportunity for you to be able to travel the world free of charge from you and be able to just receive endless amounts of, invaluable game and an invaluable experience, whatever the case may be. But if you're somebody who has, the funds to be able to sponsor $1, $20, $50, $100, whatever that number might be, it all add up to being able to give a kid that experience. And the fact that I seen it firsthand and was able to experience it for my first time as well, both as a chaperone, then when the kids left, I stayed a few extra days just to kind of get my own experience. I would say that Dubai, hands down, is probably like one of the best looking places I've saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, Thailand was amazing, but I just feel like the food, 10 out of 10, the environment. And then I love skylines. The architect was beautiful. It was amazing. And like you've been to Disney World, right? Please tell me you've been to Disney at least, right? All right, cool. At least you've seen Africa Disney and all that. Cool, been to Disney. Being in Disney World, you know how every ride is like an experience? Like, but it's not just you walking to the line. They got a museum. They got an art exhibit. There's all types of fucking spectacle shit. I feel like in its own way, like everything is an experience. So it's like, even when you're just doing something that could be regular, they make an experience out of it.
Yeah, I know one time we was talking about, he was like, there's no other place where in one day I can go to the desert, the beach,
snowboarding, and jet skiing. Besides Dubai.
This is Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World, exactly. It's literally Disney World. Like, now when I think about it, Dubai might be one of them inspired the other. Like, it's just a mix of everything. Literally one day you snowboard, the next day you jet skiing. And it was actually my first time on a jet ski as well. And it did take me long before I had my first fall.
It happens.
Yeah. And I flipped the young lady into the ocean.
Okay, happens to the best.
You got to take people down.
Yeah, absolutely.
On your first journey as well. So
I did it with my wife. She's still here. She's
shit. Well, shout out to y'all and let you know that she here for the ups and the falls.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was dope. I didn't know I would like jet skis that much because I don't do ATVs. So the fact that jet skiing was that fun to me, like I'm eager. Like I'm probably going to go to Miami in a couple days and go jet skiing just for the fuck of it.
And it's funny, always shout out to you for the bachelor party. But I remember we were supposed to do jet skis there. I would have sworn that was your bag. Like, so that would have been your first. I'm even more mad we didn't do it now.
I can't remember why. I know we did the
my friends. You said they didn't want to do it.
Your friends, yeah. I let them take a vote.
Not that
niggas.
Yeah,
it was your friends. Yep. They was A1 on everything, but that
Too
part.
thorough.
Yeah, like I should have just overruled it. I should have just pulled the plug. But one thing I would say in totality with my experience, man, it just showed me how small this big world is. And like literally like something, I'm a driving ass motherfucker.
Right.
I would take a road trip right now. Literally, don't threaten me with a good time. We'll get up and drive. Where you want to drive to? Florida, we out. 12 hours, let's do it. And when I realized that for that same 12 hours, I can be in Paris. Or maybe even farther, it made me realize, like, all right, because long plane rides don't bother me. My first long plane ride was to Thailand. 24 hours of travel time, a layover in South Korea that had nothing to do with the actual air time. And then my second long flight was to Dubai with a layover in Paris in the same sense. And it's like, I'm like, the reason I'm able to sit through these long flights is because road trips. So I'm in a condensed space and I don't have to drive. I'm just chilling. I'm just in my phone. I'm just like relaxed. And my seat got a little recline to it. I'm not your size. I'm not your height. So it's like, I'm not cramped up, cooped up. Get me up this motherfucker. I'm chilling. And because of that, I'm like, yo, I can literally go anywhere in the world. And then it's not that expensive. Like the Dubai flight was under $1,000 and Thailand was like $2 bands. But Dubai was under $1,000 for a round trip. And you get to stop in Paris. It's like, if you listening to this, it's like the same $800-900 that you might spend on FanDuel, at the club, on a fucking Louis belt or some glasses or some designer shit. You can go to Dubai. And in large part, that's what it showed me. I'm like, yo, the same money I'm spending in the country, I can be spending on the other side of the world. And in a lot of these countries, our money is worth more.
And facts. And what I've always believed, I was introduced to traveling young, relatively with my mom, whatever. So I've always enjoyed it. Always
was or wasn't?
I was.
Okay, gotcha.
And always
shout out to her.
Yeah, no, for sure. My mom, she's always been to traveling out the country, shit like that, whatever. So I've always understood the value of it, and I feel like everybody has their thing. Some people are into buying clothes, some people are into jewelry, going out to nice restaurants or whatever.
Thanks.
My thing has always been vacations, and I think that's something that a lot of people, for whatever reason, undervalue. Like a lot of people will be doing a lot of shit and like I never left the country. That'd be like the wildest shit to me. And not even like shit. I not even look at that as like a stunt for me against somebody else. Like no, it's like you don't realize just how much you're missing out on.
Depriving yourself.
And like I said, sure, some people may can't afford it, but some people actually could. They're just not prioritizing. Thing is like, it's cool. Like no, like literally, you should see the world.
Yeah,
like it's too much not to see. Like and it just also I'm big on like I said, you went to Dubai. It's certain shit in Dubai you can't see nowhere else. That's priceless.
That's fact though.
Yeah, like of course, certain places, island is an island in certain regards, but some islands, some experiences, you can't see nowhere else. Like you gotta go for it if you can do it. Like
like even like the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. Yeah, like, you can't. There's nowhere else in the world you can go see the tallest building in the world. You go to Dubai. And even to that point, just going over there and realizing like they're not that much different than us, like economic, like as far as in when I say economic, I'm not talking about like financial economic. I'm talking about just the way not even the operations of the day to day. Like you know what I mean? Like the way they operate is not too much different than how we operate, even though they got their own rules and all the regulations or whatever it can be, which I think ain't as pressing as people make it out to be. At least not in my experience. Like it was just regular. But at the same time, it's just like, oh snaps, like. Damn, I was hyped to see like regular shit like Hurts. Like it's a fucking Hurts over there. Damn, they got a Steve Madden. They got I don't know. Like I'm just saying, oh shit. Oh, it's not that hard to be a global brand. Oh, it's not that hard to have a global business. Like you don't know that until you go out there and realize like the same KFC that you see on your street corner, the same KFC that's in this plaza in Dubai. And like you don't know that if you never go.
Or you mentioned the business you came across as well.
The home care.
Yeah.
Seeing home care in Dubai really seeing a home health agency in Dubai really inspired the shit out of me. I'm like, oh shit, this shit is all over the world. And it's like you might know that, but to see it, you like, and everybody there, now I can say everybody got money, but like the money, like you can see the money. Like you're seeing Lambos and Cullinans like Toyotas and Nissans, and I'm not joking. And to your point about the whole flex thing, it's like seeing the world, your natural conversation start to sound like a flex. Right, I'm like, yeah, I just got off my Dubai flight. I'm sitting in Paris waiting for my man. Like, damn, this nigga talk spicy. Did they just say that, Rick? But I'm like, yo, this nigga talking shit. Like, but I'm just naturally delivering.
Tell you what my trip was. My itinerary.
If you would have told me, I said, if you would have told me you was canceling an event, I would have stayed in Dubai. I'm waiting in Paris. You text me talking about the event canceled. Like, it sounds like you, but this is the reality of it. So I think that once you kind of separate your fear, because a lot of people be afraid to go in unfamiliar environments. Some people don't leave their neighborhood. Some people don't leave their city. Some people don't leave their side of the country. Most people might have been within a tri-state or whatever, that tri-state region, the DMV, the Bay Area. Like they don't leave
they'll
that
touch
region.
Florida.
Yeah, everybody touch Florida. You can't come nowhere near the East Coast and not touch Florida.
Yeah.
But in large part, it's just you'll realize like, yo, this shit is all the same. It's not too much of a big of a deal. And if you could bear a flight, like just sit through the flight. Yo, the world is yours. That's how I look at it.
Or even me, like on a smaller example, like I was, like I said on the show earlier or previous episodes, I was born in California.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And me, my mom, or my dad, it took us 30 years to go back.
Yeah.
And we did other trips for that, but it's like to me, once I finally did, I'm like, yo, why the fuck it takes so long to finally just go back to where
the fact that your dad lived in Chicago your whole life and your mom lived in Philly and you were just a fucking traveling kid, like literally living out his backpack with a knapsack.
You said it was a parental abuse.
Yeah, like just back and forth. Like they had to figure that shit out. Like somebody got to move back. Like
by myself on the plane.
Yeah, like let me use this size. So I understand.
At four.
Like why this big ass kid sit here with this fucking Teletubbies
with his Power
Rangers and shit? Like,
but on that note of kids, so I was recently had a conversation. And I had an epiphany. And my man was talking about his girl and having kids and shit like that, whatever. And I was thinking like, yo, man. A lot of shit, especially I'll speak on like for black people. I feel like a lot of things are normalized that truly aren't proper. For instance, like it's very normal for women to be like, "This is my child," and this and that, and I'll let him have your last name, or I'm naming the. It's like, yo, actually, I can get it if it's like a kind of a toxic thing where you say maybe he can't have it. Like, all right, cool, whatever. But to me, I think. Just on a vacuum, there's probably not enough onus or like credence put on where like you probably shouldn't go against the man's domain of the direction of the child. Because you think about it, it's like end of the day, we know regardless of your personality type, every woman wants to be led.
Yeah.
So if you want him to lead the domain of the lifestyle and the relationship and the direction, how the fuck is he not leading the direction and the creation of like the child, starting with the name?
Yeah.
And I think if you starting off already with like, cause I've seen conversations with parents like, no, the dad, well, how about this name? Mom's be like, no. And it's like that is like, it's kind of wild when you think where you could just tell like the man.
It's a control thing.
Yeah. And I think it's because it's so normal. Cause it's their kid. They brought it here. They incubated it. And it's like, yeah, but do you want to lead everything? Yeah. So why are you even leading this very critical thing, whatever? And I've heard women say like
first name or last name now.
Again, to me, the last name always been a non-discussion, even though it's been discussed in some relationships. Yeah. But I think in recent discussion, recent thoughts, I'm like, no, I think the first name should have the same level of significance as well with the man. Or like, I don't think the man should really, unless it's just a wild ass corny name, you know. But I don't think the man should be so easily overruled.
I agree as far as an overruled part. I think, and of course,
I was curious of your thoughts.
I was about to say, I feel like most men probably just defer that decision. And like, you know what? Go ahead. I don't agree that you should. Like, I named my kids, whatever the case may be. My first daughter, it was some compromise to her name. But I still chose it. And my second daughter, it was 100% compromise. Like, they were trying to name her some other shit. Like, I had to take a stance. Like, I still call her baby to this day because for the first 2 days on the board where it say like the pounds and ounces, it said the world welcomes baby. Because I was like, don't put that fucking name on that board, doctor. It's like, I told her, I looked at her, and it was like a real standoff. Her and her family back there. And I'm just like, listen, none of them got to take care of this kid but me. So I don't give a fuck how they feel. Respectfully, like, you telling me that they're going to be upset because you're changing the name and they bought blankets and I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm like, respectfully though, like, it's not no disrespect to them, but it's like, this is my kid with you. I'm not fucking complying with what they talking about because they got a plan for, that's not their kid.
I respect it.
And I took it as far as saying I'm not signing the birth certificate. And that was the card I played. Look, I'm not signing that. If that's the name, because you didn't make that decision with me. You didn't consider me. You didn't consult with me. I'm walking in, y'all telling me what my daughter name is. Like, is y'all like, you tripping? Like, I don't give a fuck what the conditions in which this shit developed in. We're not about to walk into her life like this. Like, I'm telling you that. Exactly. And I took a real stance. And but I feel like I've seen men be put in that predicament and not take that type of stance. They just defer. But I think it all comes down to their control. Like, think of it like this, right? Women want to be led, but at the same time, a lot of situations have occurred where women have kept children against the will or agreement outside of the sexual agreement of a man. Like, a man agreed to have sex, he didn't necessarily say, I want to co-parent with you. But he made irresponsible decisions that put the decision on her. And because of that, that's where if you don't want to have my child, it's my child. And it becomes that possessive thing. Like, if you don't want me, you don't want nothing to do with my child, or you said you don't want the child, so you got to stand on that, so you can't name the child. So I think there's a trickle effect of that, on top of also just wanting to show a man who may have had leverage, control, or power throughout their dynamic that now I got the leverage, I got the control, I got the power. And I'm going to exercise this in every which way by letting you know that I control the schedule of this child, I control the name of this child, I control the well-being. Even if I'm not even making the best decisions, it's still mine. And then when it all hit the fan, I'm still going to blame you. And it's one of them things where it's like, as men, we gotta push harder against those type of things. It's like, unless you truly just don't give a shit. If you're like, all right, you know what? I'm not good with names. Come up with the name. Give me the last name. Deal. Right. But, you know, it also happens more when you having babies out of wedlock. Like, if you my woman, it's not an option. If I say I'm naming my child, that's a part of my leadership. But me knowing me, I would definitely.
How you would carry it though. I'm sure some marriages don't work that way.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. But see, because then we're going to pivot before we're ready to pivot. Then we'll start getting into being married versus being happily married. Or not even married, being in a relationship versus being in a happy relationship. And that's a whole nother conversation. But to stay on the subject of just the name game, I think that it's imperative as a man to know where you stand in that. Know if it's something you want to do or if it's something you would defer and delegate and kind of pass it off. It's not that big a deal. You say you take first name, I take last name. But it's easier to have that convo when y'all together. When y'all not together, it's a much more difficult convo because it literally feels like in their mind, this is my entity. And it's like, you know, we as parents, whether that's approaching parenthood or already in parenthood, have to understand, like, it's not just your child. Like, that shit pissed me off. My child. It's only, it's my child when she fucking up. Yo, yeah, you need to come get your child. It's like,
And and you've heard me and my wife how we talk.
Both of y'all just throw my god baby to the wolves.
When we been in though, she would never play that.
What your daughter did.
Yeah, like she would never play that shit on some serious shit. Like my kid, like you lost your fucking mind. Like, and I would never do that. Like you're not about to weaponize. And, words mean things. And to your point about the control thing, I 100% agree. And again, I'm speaking from I love my mom, I love my dad. For the most part, it worked out. But I just know that how my mom was, it led to how certain things worked out. Like where things could have possibly been different if she was a little different. Where she said that she told my dad at the door. Again, my dad didn't care because of how his personality could be. Wow. But again, how you start, how you finish. And she came out the gate saying, he can have your last name. You lucky he had your middle name because it started with an M, and I want to be an M. But you have no decision. You have no input on the first name. And again, like just even
I would have laughed. I wouldn't even argue, and I would just start laughing.
Right. And again, even if you're a man who doesn't have any thoughts about the first name, for a woman to try to control it just off rip like that, that's a sign of how things are going to go in totality or whatever. Like, I just think in the day, again, if the man should be leading, as most people agree, like most women, no matter what you do, you want a man to lead you somewhere or whatever. So why the fuck are you leading in something that's critical as the name of your fucking child together? Like, I think you better control this whole shit. And once the baby's here, you probably say, my kid and this and that and I think that's like an underspoken sign of like derailment.
Yeah, that's interesting because again, I think in large part, a lot of people, men specifically, just don't care that much. And for the men that do, they probably just don't got it in them for the conflict. Like they're not willing to stand on it. Like I literally had to have a standoff. I don't know if every man would do what I did to, name my second daughter, like, cause under the circumstance. Like if you watch the baby shower recap, that wasn't her name. It was the name they had. If you see all the car seat, the blankets, all the custom shit, it was that name. I just stood 10 toes. I'm like, I'm not budging. And that set the tone for like,
set the precedent.
And it's so funny because people will be like, they'll take that as a my way or the highway type of approach, but that's not the truth. It was never my way to begin with. My way was never considered. I'm just trying to establish like my position in my kid's life. Like, and it's like, from that perspective, it's definitely all in or all out. Now, granted, what I had not did for my, that's of course I'm gonna do for my daughter, but I had to take such an aggressive stance because I was coming in at such a deficit. I'm walking in with the name in stone. It's ingrained. It's already on the blanket. It's already on the car seat. It's already on the recap of the baby shower. This is the name. I'm like, I have to go to the extreme. And I have to let you know I'm willing to stand on that so you can understand that in any decision we make regarding my child, I'm willing to go to the extreme and I'm going to stand on it. It's not like I'm like trying to get away from my child. No, I'm pushing to get closer. And as a man, if you is watching this or whatever the case may be, you got to be willing to do that. See, because you don't got to view a conflict as something that's not conducive. You have to look at it in a conducive way. Like, if what I'm fighting for is going to make for a better trajectory for my child's life, I'm fighting for that shit. Like, it's inevitable. But if you looking at like one of them things where it's like, oh, it ain't that big of a deal, then all right, where she go to school or he go to school ain't that big of a deal. What the doctors ain't that big of a deal, or the religion ain't that big of a deal. All because that's the thing. Is like, and I believe that the child should follow the father's religion for leadership purposes. Like I just like, that's just what it is. It's like, and it should never be where you got two people practicing in two different ways, but it happens. And the push come to shove, whatever the dad say should be what it is. It's not, I don't give a fuck what the conversation is.
And I know you said I think you said like for the betterment of the child or
yeah.
But I also think to add to that, like, because betterment could be slightly subjective. Names could be, is it better name or not?
No, that's why I said the name shit, I can't really argue that.
Right, but I think the greater point is you were setting a precedent for like your domain and your position as the father that no, like y'all didn't even consider me, like, and again, like whether it's a school, doctor's appointment, name
need to be considered.
Exactly. And that's if you don't, again, a lot of men be like, ain't the big of a deal. And like you said, that's when you get down the road and you didn't see that yellow flag 100%. And that's when you're like, oh shit, they don't consider me for shit. Like damn, like
and that's why it makes it challenging to be the type of father you want to be, because you feel like you have no jurisdiction over your kid. And it's like, I can't protect you if I can't direct you. If I'm not the one teaching and leading you, then there's no way that I can properly assume the role in the manner that allow for me to be effective under my program, because it's not necessarily my program that you're following. You got me as a substitute teacher trying to pick up on a curriculum that I just walked into, and I might not agree with the motherfucking what the fuck is that shit called? The
syllabus?
Not even a syllabus. It'll come to me, but I might not even agree with the lesson plan. So you got me trying to teach a lesson plan that I don't even agree with, You just handed me a syllabus and handed me a curriculum telling me that this is how things go. And that's why from day one, you just got to fight to be present because it's going to be micro decisions that need to be made every single day for your child. And you want to be involved in all of them until there's a system, especially if you co-parenting from a distance. You need to be involved in every micro decision because it all counts. It all adds up. Where they taking their first pictures? Who's going to be their primary doctor? The day they getting their ears pierced if you have a daughter, or the day they getting their haircut if you got a son. You don't need to be disinvolved with none of that. Even if you can't find the patience to be able to deal with your baby mom, you have to, because 4 or 5 years down the line, you're gonna feel like you don't have no say so. I have a 16-year-old, and I didn't feel like I had no say so the first couple. Like literally, like I remember one time disciplining my child, and her mom saying, "You don't gotta listen to him." Wildest shit ever. Like, what do you want to know the funniest part? After she called me to discipline her. Yo, she got in trouble in school. So now I'm in there having a conversation with her, and she coming and saying, "You don't gotta listen to him." And of course, I shut that down, but it's just like my daughter's about 6 or 7 at the time, whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying, like, when you're dealing with those type of circumstances, like, you can't go missing. You got to be present every day so that those words don't matter, because it's like, this is my child too. And it's like, you don't have more, like, your mom is not a more important parent than me. I don't, like, take me here. This is something that I need y'all to understand. I don't give a fuck if you're the mom. You're not a more important parent than the dad. Y'all both are equally important. The issue lies in people portraying that because the maternal figure, in more times than not, have sole custody. In more cases than not, because it's often, if it's not no custody established, then it should be 50-50 in certain states that apply like that. But in some cases, they just award more custody to the parent, the maternal parent, or whatever the case may be, but that's not giving you more importance. The importance is equal. The dad is important, the mom is important. Because if the roles was flipped, are you less important because you don't have a child? Because there's plenty of kids. My kids have lived with me. There's plenty of kids that live with their dad. Are you not as important as the dad? No. So let's eliminate that bullshit philosophy, that bullshit way of thinking, because you're the mom, that you have more say so, you have more control, or you even have more care or consideration for the child. No, we love our fucking kids too. We want to take care of our kids, and we got their best interests at heart as well. And just because we don't always see shit the way you see it, don't necessarily mean that your way is better. That's where co-parenting becomes effective, because it say what puts the child in the best possible predicament that allow for them to succeed. And a lot of women don't allow their kids to move with their dads when that's the better option. Strictly off pride and ego. Just strictly off, I don't want to look like I don't got my kid, or I don't want to look incompetent, or I don't want, like, what type of mom would I be if I let you live with your dad? Well, what type of mom would you be if you don't? Because we could clearly see the trajectory of this kid. They need discipline. They need to they need to learn accountability, and they need structure. And it's not to say that you can't do it, but the way you have to love as a maternal figure don't always allow for firmness in that, because you still want to nurture and you want to love, and you don't want to be providing with that tough love that naturally comes with the male presence, that naturally comes from the masculine, that naturally comes from us being men. And you deprive them of that off of your pride and your ego and how you might look in the eyes of the public if you don't got your kid. But the way to approach it is, I sent my kid with their dad because that was the better way. That's what my kid needed. Once they turn like 10, I think from 10 to 15 is pivotal years. They should be living with their dad. Now, if that's not an option, the dad don't want the kid and all that, it's a different conversation. This is strictly for the women who have children, who have dads that are present, that are willing to step up and take on the soul and the majority of responsibility of the child's whereabouts for that time frame, to be able to shape them into great young adults with good character. Because it's good that y'all know how to take care of kids, but raising a child and taking care of a child is two different things. Taking care of a child is making sure they have the essential things that they need. Raising a child is the thing that you instill into them, and you can't do it alone. And the most imperative and pivotal moments of a child's life is when it's time to shape and build their character. And that's when they need to go live with their dad. And y'all need to be okay with that. We need to advocate for that. And as a dad, make yourself ready, fit, and prepared for that type of responsibility, because it's something that you have to be ready for as well, because you don't want to get your child and now they're not doing extracurricular activities, then they missing doctor's appointments, they late to school every day. No, you want to make sure that there's no drop off to their day-to-day activities, but it's definitely a development within their character. And that's how we'll be able to create upstanding human beings.
Absolutely. One of the best movies of all time to me is Boys in the Hood. And familiar?
A little bit.
Shit, damn it. But anyway,
Yeah, I seen Boys in the Hood. Stop playing with me.
I say you familiar.
No, I know. Stop playing.
But no, the beginning of the movie starts with, Trey doing some shit, whatever, and Angela Bassett, one of the best mom figures in history, whatever.
Mom for sure.
Yeah. And it starts saying, like, no, I think it's best to go live with your daddy.
Yeah. That used to be the standard.
Right. Like, and it's like, and she could have had this pride and the
pride,
ego
yeah.
of like, what will I look like? But no, this probably would make sense. Like, and I think it was twofold. I think it's like at this point he was probably literally 10.
Yeah.
I think it's time to point you need to go be with your father, and also you probably also just. I think it also was like. It was also like, you know what? You probably need to have a better chance to have a great relationship with your dad as well.
Yeah.
Cause, you know, because that whole co-parent dynamic, and not saying it was toxic, but like if you up under your mom all the time, especially as a son, it could be easy to be like, oh, my dad over there, but no, actually go live with him. Yeah. And now there's no way out of this relationship now, and you're gonna be. Yeah, so I think that set the tone for that whole movie. And I think there's a lot of things in the movie I think are just like. Because it's just classic, whatever. A lot of things in are just like understated now. Yeah. Because it's just so normal. But no, like in 1991, that shit wasn't normal to see. Yeah. Certain things they showed and depicted of our community are still true to this day.
But I think it created that. That's why it's normal now. I think that was the pioneer of the standard for things that we should see. And this depiction created the reality of it. Another thing, since we're talking about parenting, I love seeing I don't care. I love seeing women love on their sons. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. But I do think it's understated how toxic it can get when a woman loves on her son like it's her man. Sure. And I think that we have to be able to see, this is where the lack of foresight coming at. So I'm gonna just speak to y'all. The thing about it is, ladies, I can't tell you how to be a mom. And it's unfortunate if the dad is not there, right? So I can't tell you how to love on your kid. But I'm gonna tell you the effect of what it does to them becoming attached to their expectations. And it just, I don't want to say it could be overwhelming because that's not the word, but it's just one of the things where it's like you gotta understand when you might be overdoing it. And again, it has nothing to do with how much love you have for your child. It has everything to do with how much love you express in the ways you do it. You got them sleeping in your bed till they 10. Like, and it's like, granted, guilty as charged, right? Like I had a fucking step pop, and every day that nigga wasn't there, I'm gonna go sleep with my mom. But it was those gaps of not being able to that made it cherishable, right? Being able to sleep at the feet of my mom's bed. But I'll see on the internet, women are cuddling with their sons up till 10, 11. And that's cool, right? Because like you want them to feel loved, but what type of boy do you think that create? What type of attachment, detachment? And then when you finally do get a man, what do you think that does to them? Because now they feel like they get pushed to the side, which is inevitable. Because it's like, nigga, go in your room. And it's like, wait, for 10, 11 years, I've been able to lay up under you. And then it's like, y'all doing it in a way that's like filling a void that can only be filled if you actually get a man. It's like y'all treating them like they y'all men. And this has nothing to do with how you parent, but it's just something that y'all should definitely like just consider, just think about it. Like, because even if a man was loving on his daughter, it's like, I love my daughters like it's like a lot, but at the same time, they're not replacing the love I expect to get from my woman. Like, it's not even.
That's not normalized.
It's not even a thought. It's just like they're my daughters, and I'm gonna make sure that I love them and I love on them and I'm affectionate with them. But I'm not also like they're my Valentines, but I'm not about to make it in a way where as though if I get a woman that becomes less like, it's like, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to your point, I think in society, moms have normalized that where dads is not a thing at all.
Yeah, And I just feel like
we are the cliche of like moms dress the sons up like the exes or something like that.
That's something. It's like y'all dressing them like men, they boys, and y'all treating them like puppies. Like, you know how you just love on a puppy, you take care of a puppy, you dress a puppy up, but it's a puppy. But this is a human being, and you're setting his expectations for the world. And the thing about it is, he's not going to receive a love like that to that degree. Not easily. It's not to say it's impossible, but it's just creating a standard that can't be upheld. And it's not even for the betterment of the child's condition. It's literally to fill a void in most people's loneliness. And that's why I think that is something that we got to consider and just kind of figure out a way to take a better approach to that, because do things in moderation. Like, and if y'all want to raise these young boys to actually be men, then put responsibilities in front of their rewards. Like, just giving them whatever they want, that's not going to make your son a man. He has to know, like, if he wants sneakers, he has to, because y'all be like, yeah, who raised these boys? Our mothers. And granted, I had a stepdad, right? But to the rule versus the exception, y'all are the moms. So it's like, y'all will be like, yeah, because the boys are not So it's like, think about the trajectory of your son, and is he handling his responsibility? And it's like, you know, that thing, oh yeah, my son take out the trash, or he make his bed, he do this, and that's what's up. But do he understand accountability that y'all say men don't have? And why don't he? Because nobody can say nothing to him. Because every time somebody says something to him, mom going to interfere. Remember, your coaches used to be able to coach you hard. Now, you'll see nowadays, a coach can't even say nothing to the kid without the mom. Why are you saying this to my son? You don't talk to him like that. You're not his father. You don't got to listen to him. And then y'all wonder why they don't respect nobody. Then when they're not listening to you, you're like, well, what should I do? Well, when there was things put in place, you was disrupting them. Like, I was on the phone with the girl that she got a son, and she was playing around, like, she was like telling him to say something smart to me, right? I took my face out the camera. Like, he was saying it because his mom told him to say it. So I'm face out the camera. I said, I don't even want him to see me because I don't want him to think it's okay to talk to me like that if I, you know, when I'm in his presence. And she was like, yo, y'all men be taking that stuff so serious. I was like, it is serious. Like, what are you talking about? He's 4. He's gonna think that it's okay to say, even though he wasn't saying like nothing like extreme, it was just like something that I wouldn't let a kid say to me. And I'm a grown man, I'm an adult. And because I don't want to establish that precedent of there being a way where you can even play with me like that, even though you don't even know, I'm gonna just not even let you see my face. So whoever you say it to don't exist, essentially. And I think that when we don't know what we tell our kids or instruct them to do or say, it creates the way they handle people and the way they expect people to handle them. Then you wonder why nobody can help you when it comes time to get them in check. But going back to the bigger picture, yeah, I just think that I'm not telling y'all not to love the boys hard. I'm telling y'all to just watch how you're expressing that and don't use them. Don't do that. That's just not cool, yo. We're human beings. Don't use them to fill a void of a man that you don't have. Just put yourself in a predicament to get a man. And you could do that. Like, and as you're a dad, I wouldn't tell you to do that. Like, don't try to make your daughters fill the void of a woman that you don't have. Just put yourself in a predicament to get a woman. And it's like a weirder conversation trying to say it to a dad because it's not even a fucking thought. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is like, even I don't know how you might do it as a dad. I just say, just don't do the shit. Like, love your kids as much as they need to be loved, but also create boundaries that allow for them to understand that when you do get a partner, they don't feel like they got outcasted. They don't feel like they got replaced. They'll know, like, this was always a thing. Yeah, my mom let me sleep in her room on the weekends, but not the weekdays, or whatever the case may be. Just some type of boundary that'll let them know when you got to make space for the person you want. If you want a woman, you want a man, you got to make space for that if you got kids. But if you letting your kids be up under you like they your fucking significant other, then when it's time for you to have one, they're going to try to block it because they're going to feel like they're being replaced and they're humans.
So a few thoughts. One, you know, as I said before, my mom, she isn't, or what she wasn't, never, and still not now, isn't like the super affectionate, you know, kiss on me, hug, whatever. My dad actually more affectionate than my mom. You know, he the one. To this day, anytime I'm on the phone, he would say, I love you. Like, that's how he is, whatever. My mom would say, I love you, special occasions. So, however, I did learn and realize over time that if it wasn't for my stepdad and my dad in different capacities, because, you know, I stayed with him in the summertime, whatever, that even though my mom wasn't like lovey-dovey, she would have just been lesser in some, let's say, discipline or accountability ways. Even though she was on that shit for the most part, she definitely the disciplinarian. But, you know, something as simple as me and Ricky, some of this sleeping in her room, whatever. I was not really like to sleep in the bed too much. At least I remember it. But I definitely sleep on the floor. Yeah. And I remember my stepdad came around. Again, I was never the type that I hate my mom having a boyfriend. Again, like I said before, shout out to Sam. Yeah. Sam was a cool ass boyfriend. He was cool. My stepdad, fucking asshole. So it was like I just didn't fuck him for multiple reasons. But I remember vividly he the one said like, this boy not sleeping in that fucking room no more. Yeah. Why you keep letting him in? Like,
and I pop into that shit immediately.
Right. And in real time, I'm like, who the fuck this nigga think he is? But in hindsight, I understand, like, no, it's okay to set that boundary. And then, yo, it's okay. You stay in your fucking room. Mind you, I went through that, you know, life repeats itself. Anybody who's had to be in the house with their baby early on, you've been through that with your baby, where like the mom, like, oh, it's okay, let the baby sleep with us. Well, I ain't gonna say, I heard some dads do it too, but whatever. One of the parents let the baby sleep with us, and usually one parent like, no, let the fucking baby sleep in their crib. Like, let's set the boundary. Like,
I'm big on boundaries.
Yeah, like so, you know,
put a monitor in there. We'll go check on the baby.
Yeah, it's okay, whatever. So, you know, but back then I was like, what the fuck this nigga think he is? And that was a few instances over our relationship where like he was the one that said, no, like, he gonna work for me this summer, and I'm gonna give him money. I'm gonna take half his money, put in his account. This nigga taking half the money that he made me work for. What the fuck this nigga think he is?
He might as well just pay me ass.
So, you know, but, you know, he was the one more strict on, like, you know, why he getting paid for chores? He should just do this shit. Like, just certain things he did, I understand the psychology on, like, the accountability.
Your payment was living there. You was carrying your weight.
Yeah.
But without that structure, kids just grow up thinking that the world should be handed to them. Men or women, it's not exempt. Anybody that don't have structure, don't have discipline, don't have accountability will grow up thinking that the world gonna bend to their back and call. Especially if you have a unfirm parent. If you got a parent that will say you can't go outside, and then 30 minutes later, like, get out my face because they tired of you being in the house. Like one day you could jump on the bed, it's cool. The next day, don't jump on the bed. So it's like that instability is creating confusion that a child don't know what rules to follow because it's like, well, one day it's cool, one day it's not. And that's what create the same fluctuating thought process as they become adults. They look at it like, well, things that are not okay should be okay for them because at one point the rules were bent in their favor, and they think that life should just be, handed to them in that manner. And we got to think in the capacity of, if my child was to do something that was not my decision to penalize or give them consequences, how would I want them to handle this? And if I want them to avoid these situations, I have to start by letting them know that there's consequences to your actions, because it starts at home. If not, then they'll go out into the world and they'll face consequences that you can't control. And as parents, nobody wants to go through that with the kids.
To shift gears real quick, slightly pivot, I'm a feminist. So, I wanted to debunk some, have you reiterate something and possibly debunk it. Once upon a time, Wolf said, and I quote, "Women may do more, but it means less."
Women may do. You gotta give me context.
There is no context. That's what you said about women. They don't do nothing. No, it's not. We talk relationships, saying like the whole gym reps and a manager, CEO, that whole thing, whatever. I think you said you wanted to kind of
So you talking about when we had a guest on the episode?
Yeah, we talked about like another time after that, but it was relating to that point though, and that was like something you said just to kind of crystallize it. And I thought it was an interesting point. Like,
what was the context I said that day? I'm still on Dubai time. No funny shit. Like I'm literally So like you really got to give me context.
There's no idea of like when women.
Last time you quoted me and I went back and I was like, I didn't say that. So let me just let's get. I feel like I remember, but I feel like the context matters. So what was the context?
So I recall the context being around like the whole marriage versus CEO thing. I graduated thought from that of like when women argue that men don't do enough, men not do enough custodially with the relationships, or whatever. Even if we're managing everything, and the CEO.
So in regard to like the day-to-day tasks and activities, I'm saying that it means less, like washing clothes, doing dishes, that type of stuff. Because I literally like don't got it for you. I don't remember. So this is one of the second times this happened, but this time I'm accredited to the fact that I'm legit like sleepy. But all funny, all jokes aside. But I think if I were to revisit that thought freshly, I feel like when I say it means less, I'm not saying that it's not equally valuable. I'm saying that it means less, like the ship not gonna sink if you don't do what you're doing. Whereas though, if a man don't show up and go to work and pay the bills, in that dynamic, it's literally the end all be all for everything that you're doing. So even if he's doing three things, the three things that he do,
way more,
it's more pivotal to you even being able to have a role. Like that's literally like the manager's like, yeah, because I'm here every day with the employees overseeing everything, and I'm the one dealing with call outs, and I'm the one dealing with sick days, and I'm the one dealing with pay cuts and shortages and hiring and firing, and I got to deal. But if I don't start the company and run the fucking company, there's no company for you to manage. So it's not to say that what you're managing is not important. It's to say stop comparing the shit. Like stop mentioning it as if, because that's the lack of consideration. I feel like I let them talk. I let them complain because I feel like that's just naturally their approach to things, and that's how they wired. But at the same time, if we really going to get to the nitty gritty of what a man do, is just like, I remember. I didn't say that. That wasn't my thought. You can't quote me. I said one of my comments said that.
Okay.
No, nigga, that's important. Cause I'm like, when the fuck did I say that?
I don't remember that. But
it was somebody in my comment. I said the nigga said that's like somebody comparing an admin job to like working like hard labor, and that's when I made that comment.
Okay, so you said it though.
No, I'm saying like
the context part. Okay, I didn't remember.
I'm saying no. That's when that was his comment, and I would just iterate it to him like, damn, that makes sense.
So the comment said women do more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's like basically like he all I did was elaborate on what he said. Gotcha. And I probably put it in my own words. And I think that's what you're saying. I said it. But yeah, so getting back to my actual thought right now, it's the same though. It's like without a man making certain moves and handling his responsibilities in that dynamic. Because a lot of women like to lean in on the fact that they had households where there's no man. We're obviously not talking about that. We're talking about households where the man is there and he's paying the bills and he's taking care of his responsibilities as a man, and you're complaining about the things you have to do as if it weigh more, as if like the shit that he do can literally sink the ship, and the shit that you do literally can be done by him. And it's not to say you can't do what he do, but do you want to? And it's like, that's the bigger conversation. Is like, why complain about somebody doing the heavy lifting just because you're doing a bunch of minute day-to-day things that can easily be task rabbited? And I'm not discrediting it. It's nobody on TaskRabbit gonna pay your bills. That's my point. Like, you ain't gonna go on TaskRabbit and pay a motherfucker to pay your bills.
TaskRabbit Deluxe.
Like I don't fucking deluxe, premium, gold, or fucking platinum. There's nobody on TaskRabbit that's gonna pay your bills. But there's somebody on TaskRabbit that'll come clean your crib. There's somebody on TaskRabbit that'll come fold your clothes. There's somebody on TaskRabbit that'll come cook for you. Or whatever one of the apps might be where it can be replaced. Does that diminish the value of what you're doing? Absolutely not. It just means let's honor the value that we receive and the trade-off in which we get back in return. So if you get the luxury of being able to focus on household tasks while your man going to the world to make sure that there's a household task to focus on, what are we talking about if you did 20 things to hit 3? Because 8 hours of working is not like, they be like, yeah, but y'all go to work and come home and then we don't get a break. I'm on the clock 24 hours as a mom. What do this kid do? What do these kids do for 24 hours?
Nothing.
Like, literally, like, I'm an active dad, so you can't play that card with me. What do these kids do? You're an active dad. What do these kids do for 24 hours that make you feel like you're never off the clock? I'm confused. They're not jumping around. There's playtime. There's hype time. There's inconvenience shit that they do. They're cry at times. They nag. They irritate you. All of those different things. But none of that shit is 24 hours. None of it didn't add up to 8 hours. I will argue that it does not add up to 8 hours. I would say that it spans over 24 hours. But if we were to say, what did you actually do physically during those time frames, and what did it do to your mental and all of those things? I don't got it for going past an 8 hour shift. So it's like if a motherfucker going out and physically doing labor for 8 hours and coming home tired, to your mental fatigue of having to, hear these complaining and crying and all this for the course of 8 hours. The fact that we even measuring that, because it's some moms that have to do both. It's some moms that have to go to work in stress and then come home and still deal with that bullshit. So if you have the luxury of not having to, or even in moderation where, because a lot of women say, well, I work too. Like, what do you do for work though? Like, are you doing something that's like a heavy activity? No, you're doing something that involves you sitting on a computer, being an assistant, doing something like, maybe your own creative pursuits, maybe your
call center.
Like, what the fuck is we really talking about that you do that's really taking a wear and tear on your body?
And again, just like, because, some people hear and say, well, no, whatever their job is,
we respect it.
No, not 99.9% of women aren't working in the coal mine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, y'all know.
What about the one that's sitting here working under the subway? And it's like, okay, like, Barbara the builder. The one, but the vast majority of y'all are doing jobs that might be annoying, might require some mental fatigueness as well, but it's not physically deteriorating your body and bringing you down in no way, shape, form, or fashion. And in most cases, you're working to take care of the shit you want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh no, I pay some of the bills too, because we do live in a culture of equality, 50-50 and all of that. But the fact of the matter is, in the worlds in which we operate, is not that. So you there because you want to be there, because you have things that you want. So that's why a man would be like, oh, then don't work. Not that I don't want to see you prosper. I want you to prosper, but I also feel like if it's taking that much of a toll on you, and I'm taking care of the main doing heavy lifting anyway, all right, fuck it, don't work. Just worry about the kids. Oh no. All right, then what are we talking about?
I'm in the house all day.
Like, I don't have a life. I want to go out. I want to do this. Nigga not going out to Disney World. Nigga not going to Dubai when he go out to work. Trust me.
I mean, you might be. I don't know.
I mean, it depends on what he do for a living. But the fact of the matter is, the motherfucker is going out to bust that. Like, it's just the age-old saying, man. Like, men work harder and want more hours to do more for their family. They don't do it for more freedom. They don't do it for more separation. They do it for more protection, more stability, and more ability to be able to give you the thing that you say you want. But in that separation, that distance, if you allow your mind to cloud your judgment to think that he's having more fun than you, or he's doing it to escape, you can't measure a man's reasoning to your reasoning. Like, you might go to work as an escape. We're not going to work as an escape. You might go to work to get yourself more stuff. We're not going to work just to get ourselves more stuff. We're going to work to be able to do more for our family, because we want to solve problems, and we feel like that'll put less stress on the household, and we are able to accomplish more. So men truly believe that if we work 24 hours out the day, that will make our family lives easier. Man, what do he have time to do if he's working a lot? So when you really think about it, it's like, how can it be an escape if everything that he do, the fruits of it, is to benefit the people he take care of? He's not doing like, oh, I'm about to just go hang with my friends for 24 hours. I'm about to just sit on the couch and play the game for 24 hours. I'm about to binge Netflix for 24 hours. No, I'm trying to work as much as I possibly can so that my family can have the things that they need. The trade-off is I can't be here with the kids The trade-off is I can't spend every waking moment with you. But when I do, let's make it quality. Let's not argue about the time I'm not here. Let's focus on the time I'm here so that we can enjoy the fruits of my labor so it can motivate me to go do more. But if you drain me after I just got drained from the job, now I'm double drained. And now I really don't have the energy or the capacity to deal with your emotions or the energy of the kids, because the energy I was going to have reserved and preserved for that, you took away by coming to me with BS instead of coming to me, uplifting me, making me feel like what I'm doing is actually appreciated and valued so that I can walk back out there the next day, do it again, and then come home ready, energized to be able to do for y'all. And on a pivot for the men that's watching this, train your energy to be prepared to be like, it's challenging. Like when you just had a long day and you got to deal with them fucking kids. And I'm not talking about the long day the women had, the one in the house and they were just nagging, crying, flipping, and breaking shit. I'm talking about the long day when you really were just lifting boxers, the long day when you really were just out on route, the long day when you really were just dealing with a bunch of nonsense and you really ain't got it. Reserve yourself whatever you have left to give your kids and your family that energy, because that'll also buy you more time and appreciation, and it'll make you be more get recharged from them if you allow it to be that. Like if you don't see it as an extra drain, like for me, when I used to come back in the crib, I would look at it like I'm excited to see them because it's going to recharge me. Versus it being a situation where I feel like, fuck, shit, I gotta go. But if she nagging the moment I walk in, now I'm like, fuck, I'm about to sit in the wheel for 30 minutes. I'm sitting in the wheel for hours.
Shout out to them cars, them car sitting peers. Yeah.
The car, the amount of motherfucking energy that has got left in the car on that driveway or in that parking spot, in that parking lot. When you walk in and you see the living room light on and the blinds halfway open and you see bodies moving around and you're like, I'm not going in yet. Fuck that. I am not going there. Why is this life in there up? Like, why is everybody just doing shit? You know what I mean? The amount of energy that I got left in that motherfucking driveway. But if you prepare yourself for that and just say, you know what? This is overtime. I got an hour of dedicated games, fun shit, and then whatever that last hour before bed is for me and my partner, you can also mitigate a lot of the complaints. But what tends to happen is we get so caught up in working that we forget to put the work in the crib. And I don't want to make that, and I don't want to open up that path for us to think that that's okay either, because if we just did 8 and skated, we got to give 2 hours for overtime at the crib. 1 for the kids, 1 for our wife or our girlfriend or our spouse or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And just make it make sense so that it's nothing that nobody can say to you. I worked and I put work in here because all of those pillars got to be well for you to feel how you need to feel as a man.
And that's what time away does for me. Like not necessarily day-to-day job shit, whatever, but anytime I'm on vacation, anytime, we moving around, doing shit, whatever, and I go back home, I always, miss my wife and my daughter. Like, and it's always refreshing to be away, just to come back, whatever.
Yeah, I gotta go away to miss you.
Yeah,
I'm asking if I miss you, I'm gonna see you in 6 hours.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna see you. I don't fucking miss you.
Yes.
The fuck,
I'm not lying.
Yeah, I don't miss you. I'm going to see you in 6 hours. For me to miss you, it has to be some type of deprivation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I miss football, right? Eagles is out. Like, it's not happening. Like, it's nothing I can do how to wait. Like, I can miss that. I don't miss you because I'm going to see you in 6-7 hours. Now, can it be?
Is there off season with you? Can you fucking go away?
It's good. But it's like, is it like? Now and it come down to it's like, all right, cool. Are there times where there couldn't be, some type of inclination and that desire? Like, oh yeah, I miss you. Yeah, for sure. But is it going to be 50 minutes after I walked out the crib? No. I just got on the plane. Do you miss me? No. I'm still trying to detach. I'm still trying to get my brain on being away from you. There's no way I miss you already. Like, what are you talking about? But if I was leaving, I would miss you as soon as I left. Okay, like. The fuck? Like, no, give me a day or two. Holler at me in 48 hours. Now I done recharge. I'm like, damn, I can't wait to get back. I miss y'all. Like, I legitimately miss my daughters. Like, all right, cool. I can't wait to see y'all because I just had time away. But like, when my daughter was here the entire Christmas break, it's like the next day, Dad, do you miss me? And in a weird way, I kind of did miss her little annoying ass. But the other part of me was like, no, fuck no. I just dropped you off 12 hours ago. Like, don't ask me for shit for a week and then call me and tell me if I miss you.
Question.
Is there something in that dryer?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking I'm tripping.
So Ask Wolf segment. As a man who's done so many things, business ventures, passions, whatever, I got a question for you. So I was talking with my mans about something who's studying to be a screenwriter right now. And he was asking me a question about me going to film school. I've had an interest in film. I've written scripts in the past, shit like that, whatever. So he's like, would you ever want to go to school for that? And I was like, at this point, nah, this and that. He's like, so let's say years in the future, if you're able to do it, with a certain level of, you know, capital, this and that resources, would you explore? I'm like, yeah, because why not? He's like, oh, I think that means you wouldn't be at peace with it. So why not tackle it now, per se? And I'm like, cause I look at life and something, opportunity come across your desk, or you got resources or a connection, whatever. If something presents itself and you explore it, I don't think before that moment you weren't at peace with it. That's why I was arguing.
I almost would say you was at peace with it.
Right. And he was like, nah, he's like, and we use for, you know, back a better example, whatever. There was a rapper who used to play ball, then he had the chance to play for like a fucking African team, whatever. He like, yo, that nigga wasn't at peace with basketball. That's why he fucking randomly played basketball at fucking 30 something. I'm like, or he just had money and connection. He said, fuck, I can play basketball. Like, I don't think that means,
in that regard, I can see it.
I can see it, but I think also if you have the opportunity to do anything, why not? Now, of course, some people, if you fucking can't sleep at night, fucking tormented about this shit, yeah, sure. But I don't think that's an automatic sign that you're not at peace. So I was curious with you, who's done so many things, is there something that you would think you could see yourself in future tapping back into, one, and two, is there anything you feel you aren't at peace with, or you had to realize you had to get to peace with?
I think that
a few directions.
Yeah, it's a lot of directions. But to simplify it, I think acceptance has become a main ingredient of my life. Accepting like outcomes, and also being willing to accept opportunities if they represent themselves. So it's like, I don't have a chapter that I look back on and be like, oh, I have to revisit that chapter. But I have ideas that I've had that I felt like I haven't been able to see all the way through, that I believe if presented the right resources, opportunities, and finances, I would explore them. But is it a desire where it's like, I gotta do this? No, because that's where the initial acceptance coming at, where it's like realizing like the thing that you good at ain't always the thing that you great at, and the thing that you great at ain't always the thing that you expect to are even enjoyable. You know what I mean? It's like somebody could have wanted to be a rapper and ended up the best accountant in the world. And it's like, I never seen myself being a fucking accountant. I thought I was gonna be rocking shows. I didn't think I was gonna be speaking about finances or whatever the case may be. But you accept the fact that this is what gave me the most success. So it's like, for me, once I started to realize, like, I might feel like I could do basketball, football, it's just that, a third, but I'm actually really great at being an author. I'm actually really great. These are the things. This is the, like, I thought I was gonna be touring rapping. I'm actually on a book tour. So it's like, the acceptance came in, like, I knew it was going to come behind my words, my thoughts, my ability to write, or whatever the case may be, but it didn't happen in a way. I don't have no desire to go do a fucking concert. You know what I'm saying? But if a motherfucker offer me an opportunity to perform, I might consider it. So it's like, that's present on the front end. Again, but it's not something that I'm feeling like I need to tackle, or it's like, it was something I always felt like I needed to go back and revisit. Once I was done with something, that could be a relationship, or that could be an opportunity, or that could be a business. Once I'm over it, I'm cool. I'm literally like, all right, it ran its course. That's just what it is. I'm on to whatever. But does that mean that this same opportunity could represent itself, dress it up, and be an updated edition, and I'd be considering it again? That's possible, because to your original point, we all have things that we've done or wanted to do that we felt like, you know, like you wanted to get in the film. That was something you wanted to do. But if your trajectory of life told you like that's not really in the cards, it's not like you depressed or bitter about it. But if it come up and they're like, yo, we want you to do this, we got this budget, you're like, yeah, I'll take on that opportunity, because it is something I felt like I could be good at. But then in large part, the other part of me, the bigger part of me might say I still might not do it though. Because I look at it like, if it's not what I'm great at and I already did it, then I don't need to do it again. Because it's like, why? When am I revisiting something for that I already realized isn't giving me the most success? I feel like that's almost like deviating from the plan. And I feel like I'm working on not even doing stuff like that, because I've done it for so many things.
I can see how that definitely makes sense. Of course, and another universal type outlook on it could be like, oh, this is the ultimate test to do it now.
To
like,
deviate.
to align. It aligns now, possibly.
Yeah, it's not too many things I see with age that we've done as kids that align. Like basketball, like football. Like, you don't get 40, like, yo, we got the 10-day contract for you for the Sixers. Pull up.
Back to the basket game on lockdown.
Like, yo, bro, I heard your mixtape from 2012. I want to book you for a show. Like, I don't really see our youthful endeavors representing themselves in a way. And for me, music, I did music, then I did music management. So I did both pillars of it to kind of exhaust that.
How about music management?
Would I jump back in it?
Yeah, I feel that's not such a youthful thing.
No.
Okay, got you. But can you see that being like a different thing though?
If
like,
I could find me like a pop star, I might consider it. but I don't think I would do it because of the lifestyle that comes behind music. I think I'm
Gotcha.
just I don't enjoy having to go to the club or having to be in the studio. Like I don't enjoy that like at all. Like, and at one point,
Did you even back then?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was like a labor.
What? It was what, bro? The best part of the job. I understand people like, how y'all can be in the studio for 12 hours? How could you not? Like, how y'all go from this club, then straight to the studio, then back to the club, then y'all got to drive here, y'all got to do this. That was the lifestyle. Like, that's literally what I wanted. Now it's like, it looks different. Like, I wouldn't mind traveling to this state to go speak and then traveling here to do another thing. It looks different, but the temperament of that world, as far as in
frequency of it too,
I'm cool. I'm good. But doing those activities, I still do. And I think that's the large part. Is like, it is, I already got that mature opportunity. It looks like a speaking engagement and a book signing or a podcast. It looks different. I'm still performing. I'm still in front of a microphone, but not in that manner where it's like, and I might hit a lounge or a club on my time, but ain't nobody about to be like, yo, bro, I read your book. Pull up to the club. Like, you know, I mean, I did have a couple club bookings when I first dropped Cheating Not Cheating, but that's because I was still toiling the fence, still large part close to the music industry. But at this particular time, I could see us doing events, maybe brunches or day parties. I don't really see myself, you know, pulling up to the club because of a booking for my books.
Yeah, and
Don't get no ideas and try to book me for my books.
Man, and lastly, to that point, you know, I think everybody should, at one point or another, ask themselves, what do they truly want for themselves and from themselves? Whether that's just personally, passion based, whatever.
Oh, it's just like choosing a wife. And the thing about it is, you can have so many great vibes with women. So many women. It's like, oh my gosh, they are great vibes, great experiences, great memories. But at some point, you're going to have to pick one. And the one you pick that's it. This is it. This is vows. This is commitment. This is unity. We are locked in. And once you make that decision, all of the what ifs of the other women still exist, but you made your decision. It's the same with your career path. It's the same with all of the big decisions you're going to make in your life. But the best example to that is choosing your partner. Because it's like, once you lock in with her, all of the other candidates don't even matter. So when you think about choosing what you want for yourself and what you want for your life, it literally can be summed up into how you choose your life. Like, it's like, this woman is the ultimate decision I'm going to make, because I literally have to eliminate every other candidate and say that I will never sleep with you again. I will never entertain you again. I can't even care about your well-being to a certain degree. Of course, human to human, I do. But beyond that, I can't give a fuck, because all of my time, energy, effort, and resources is now dedicated to this one woman. And I have to dedicate and devote my entire existence to her. And when you make such a grand decision, everything else becomes obsolete. To that philosophy of, if something represents itself, that's like an X try to spin the block. That's the big what if. Damn, what if it would have worked out with such and such before the... It's like, no, I made this decision. And even if this gets slow, if it gets boring, if it gets... I'm uninterested in that time, so the commitment supersedes and overrides all of those feelings, because those are temporary. So even if something shiny comes up and presents itself as a better opportunity, and granted, we're talking about career, but it still is a parallel and synonymous with your partner, I'm not jumping at that opportunity to uproot my fucking life, because that's what it's doing. If I built a successful career here, why the fuck would I drop a single? Then you choose the woman and then you end up single.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not a good decision to make.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I'm gonna let that simmer. But what I was also gonna add to is like I said, if you ask yourself what you really want, I think that kind of simplifies things. Because if you want to be a rapper, or just be in music somewhere in some capacity, then nothing else really matters.
Yeah, that's
or you want to be a podcaster, photographer, whatever it is. I realize with filmmaking or podcast, I'm like, I am interested in all these things. I think I'm talented in all these things, whatever. But I don't need any of these things. Whatever. I thought about this when we started this one. I'm like, all right, of course, this represented itself. I was not doing podcasting again, came across this, and I think it still makes sense.
Yeah,
that's why I'm glad we started it. But if it didn't represent itself, it wasn't something I feel I was longing for, this and that per se. And I think I was at peace with stopping it. Yeah. So I think what you're saying, I think is all valid. But I think I have slightly different perspective about it. Because it's something I literally stopped and started.
I'm about to say, to enhance your perspective, I think even when we had our conversations about potential pivots and potential putting this down, essentially, I think that what kept it going and what keeps it going is the purpose that's different. I think your original podcast had no purpose outside of it just being right on cue live. It was entertaining. It was funny. It was like, it was more like cult following type of approach. Like, you know, you was kind of like on your podcast thing, like of how the other podcasts be. Where though with this, it's more like almost like ministry. So it's bigger than us. Like we are fortunate enough to be able to be the ones who presented the platform, but ultimately the beneficiaries of it is like having little brother that we do not have, or like being able to talk to nephews and cousins, or just grown ass men who didn't have or don't got these type of friends. And I think that that's the constant reminder that we both consciously and subconsciously hold to, that allows for us to show up 75 episodes later and still be like, through everything that transpires leading up to filming, and still show up in film and want to deliver, because it's bigger than what it's bigger than what our last platforms were. Cause like, even from a music standpoint, like I've had millions and millions and millions of views, millions and millions and millions of plays, you know. Even from a manager standpoint, artists had millions and millions of plays, millions and millions of views, widely known, widely regarded books. I've sold thousands of books. And ultimately this fulfillment hits a little different because of that factor. So I think that the start and stop is different. If you stop something, it come back as a greater purpose. Like if you still single and you run into a chick that it could have been a what if, that's different than if you married. You wasn't married to nothing when we talked about it again. You were just living like a middle class life, like successful in career, wife or fiance, daughter, and that was good. But I think the desire for you was that you stopped it because of the trajectory more than you did because you were done with it. So I think to your homie's point, that's where he's right about it. Like you were not done with it. You stopped it because it stopped making sense. And this presented itself and you pitched it to me and it made sense. It wasn't like something that I came and shot my job. Yo, it was like, yo, what you think about it? I'm like, I kind of don't think I should, but I'm like, you know what? And it ended up being like, oh shit, Q was right. Like this shit, he was actually on point. And this is some shit he pitched 4 years ago. And it could have went, but this was a better timing because who I am today versus who I would have been at that time. We probably would be having different level discussions, even if it would have still been higher vibration than that typical. So I'm curious if you still feel like your perspective is slightly different, or do you feel like it's just additive now?
To me, it would be a splitting hairs thing, but just to add to that though, like you said, you emphasize the sense part, and that's something I developed a few years ago.
Emphasize what part?
Sense, making sense.
Oh, sense.
And like my rule of thumb is, if something for me, how I move now in my life, kind of based off that pivot, and when I stop certain things, whatever, to me, whatever I'm doing has to make sense, has to be sensible, profitable, and compatible. And I wrote that down years ago, and I said, whatever I'm doing, if it isn't at least 2 of those 3, most likely all 3, then it isn't worth it. And I felt at the time things I was doing definitely weren't profitable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if it was sensible. To be honest, like,
yeah, so
all those was drinking liquor, ruining relationships, and just talking shit. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, like it was literally just people on a fucking microphone.
It was compatible though.
I mean, yeah, it's where you was at in your life. But if you can't be in your 30s with that type of content, like
visionary. I was ahead of my time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, I always give you credit for the leadership of the vision of the show, whatever. It was definitely something I didn't foresee. But to me being transparent about it, to me, the main reason why I continue to do this with you and continue on this journey is because it, more than anything, even outside of profitable, it makes sense and it's compatible.
Yeah.
And that's more about, our bond, and, our chemistry, whatever.
Yeah.
So of course, shout out to the 1%ers and the pack and everybody and the ministry of everybody that tap in with us. I appreciate it. Me personally, that's why you the coach. That's why you the wolf. But it's like, shout out to Ricky too. Shout out to Ricky.
Big shout out to Ricky.
Yeah. But it's like, to me, it's about like, our coming together and, how we, handle the platform and everything.
No, I can see that, but I think that literally just describes our personality, where it's like you being systematic and me kind of being like philanthropic, or like, as you would say, coach, and just like always wanting to help people or just see people get better, do better, and lead with that. And I think that this also holds us accountable, because we stand so firm on what we believe in and how we carry it that it shows up like in ways that people can never even imagine. Like they get the conversation, they don't even see the actual operations that lead to the conversation on like how we really carry things on a day-to-day with our families, our children, our moms. And that's for me, that's the best part, is like you don't get to see the preparation LeBron, Tom Brady and them had before them championship games. You just got to see them win it. But the preparation led to them winning it. And for me, that's the part that's like, I enjoy being able to display, you know, being able to perform essentially on game day after all of this preparation, all of this self-work, you know, and all of this growth, essentially.
Absolutely.
But you say you give me credit for the leadership. I give you credit for the vision of the foundation. Because again, it wasn't even the cards. You know what I mean? And honestly, like I vividly remember driving from the movies with my girl at the time in the car, that looking at that 4-page letter and being like, "This nigga's insane." Like it checks out. You really are. But some niggas is batshit crazy, but it's like makes sense. Yeah. And I'm like, this nigga got no dignity. Like that's how I felt. Like that message for me felt like you had no dignity. I'm like, because I would never give a fuck who it is. Like,
hey, fucking yo,
have some dignity. Nigga, get up.
Get up.
Get the fuck up. And have some dignity. Sitting here. That's how I felt begging. But
one day we're gonna post it on one of our live show anniversaries. We're gonna post a letter. Like, for the record.
That's how I received it. But I don't have an ego, so it didn't go there. But I'm just like, if I'm rapper, me. This fucking
pre-2020,
this fucking peasant. Fucking
blocked actually. Like,
for sure. Who the fuck are you writing me to Instagram not give you a restriction? But how did he even DM me? I don't even follow this nigga. Like, but no, but ultimately, all jokes aside though, it's just funny how many things stemmed about from that message. And I feel like for you that's watching, one of the things that I'll say is sometimes that's all it take. Like, it only take one match to fucking burn down a whole forest. It only take one seed to grow a whole forest. And I feel like that one seed that was planted literally was sprouted into what we building. And I want y'all to know that, because you might not take into account a subtle effort of just shooting your shot at something and what it could possibly become, and risking that rejection. And like we talked about in previous episodes, rejection is not measured by the person rejecting you as much as you think it might be. In more cases than not, they might be rejecting you for their own internal reasons. Like, my rejection to him wasn't because of him. It was because of my history and the past trauma that I've had. Well, not even trauma, but just the past experiences that just didn't go the way I wanted to for unforeseen reasons that was out of my control, and me not wanting to repeat the same cycle. But it was just me saying, you know what? I'm going to have faith. I'm going to give trust, and I'm going to give it a go. And my faith, his faith in shooting a shot, and my faith in trusting in the pitch is how we were able to make a lot of money off this shit, make a lot of sense from it, and maintain our compatibility and build it, honestly. I think we built compatibility through this shit.
Absolutely. One last thing I'll add about that, too. It's funny because I remember, you know, in hindsight now about our first course, because I knew you in passing, at least, from the first podcast or whatever.
I did 5 fucking interviews with you. Like, yeah, it was in passing, but nigga, we did 5 interviews. Like,
fair. But I remember with our first meeting, whatever, like things, how you were that day to me speak volumes. Now, I don't know, that really was something where I remember you came late. And you like, yo, why are we sitting by the window? Let's go over here. Like, it was like very like managing this. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, particular about certain shit, whatever.
Nothing changed.
Yeah. Now I remember at the counter getting food. Oh, what type of food is this? I'm like, oh, this nigga Tism, dog.
He probably thinking like this is the first day thing. Nah, nigga.
And then when we left, you was trying to broker a deal for the business. Oh, who owned this? Oh, I'm trying to
I mean, I'm leaving here with something. I spent some money here. I'm trying to get a deal.
Here I go.
Absolutely. I'm immediately spot the opportunity.
Yeah, so it was funny, just certain things echo true down. But
nah, for sure.
I think we can lean
but yeah, man, with that being said, man, as always, man, we don't want these conversations to stop here. We want them to start here because we want you guys to get 1% better every single day and every single way. And it starts with conversations like this. So take this conversation to your group chat, take it to your coworkers, take it to your friends, your family, your children, your baby mom, your baby dad, your husband, your wife. But more importantly, where should they take it to?
Themselves?
Yourself.
All right.
Have confidence. Say it with your fucking chest. Where should they take it?
Themselves.
Take it to yourself. Act like I taught you something. Take it to yourself, because in all actuality, even in my book, The Art of Accountability, which I highly suggest that y'all go read, it's a different level of growth that takes place when you really sit with yourself and assess yourself. And once you assess yourself, you can address yourself. When you address yourself, you can get where you're trying to go. And the only way to do that is to be able to have self-reflecting questions from an honest perspective. And these conversations are what we intend to do. We intend to uplift, inspire, and educate, and just make sure that y'all, again, build on these discussions that we start. So with that being the case, man, make sure y'all go tap in with our sponsors, our sponsor, We Care, Who Care, We Care Home Health Agency, where you can go to them for pediatric care all the way up to senior care for skilled and non-skilled in the Philadelphia and surrounding areas. And if you need to get with them for any services, please call the number 267-940-8509 and let them know Wolf sent you. Don't forget that small detail. Let them know the Wolf has sent you, and tap in with We Care. And yeah, man, as always, y'all know where y'all can find me at. Wait, before I even say that, yeah, y'all know where y'all can find me at Wolf WSC. Y'all know where y'all can find the network at wolfnetwork.wsc. Y'all can find the podcast on the Wolf Network YouTube channel, Wolf Network, the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, and on all audio download platforms, y'all can find the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. Where can they find you?
Ryan Q Live as in a right side on QUE Live.
And make sure y'all get with my guy Ricky B. Philly because he's up and coming. He's not even up and coming. He's a growing influencer. And he does a lot of things within the church, within the community, and just within the culture. He's no longer taking bookings, but still check out his platform for food reviews and just good content. Dougie and dancing food reviews and Christ. That's what you can expect when you go to Ricky B. Philly. But as always, man, you already know you can find me at Wolf WSC again. And until next time, man, let's get it. The Wolf Has Spoken.